Bolts Nation, what's going on? It is your buddy Greg Wolfie here. I'm rocking it solo today because Kobe, I guess, missed his flight back from spring break with the family. So he and Garrison both, but it's all good, man. I digress. So I'm excited because we're still here celebrating the 30th season of Tampa Bay Lightning hockey, the Hall of Fame induction weekend. We had to bring in Bugsy. Ryan Malone is here. It's awesome to see you again. I know I just saw you, felt like a few weeks ago, you were up in 218 with me, like, kicking off the game. So it's good to see you still back in the area. What's it been like for you to kick off this week? It's been a pretty cool week so far.
Yeah, I think it's great with the Lightning and then the alumni, bringing everyone back for a big weekend for, Phil and Marty and Vinny. It's amazing what has become of Phil's idea of bringing hockey to Florida and where we are now. So, yeah, honored just to be a part of it and looking forward to the weekend.
How was Topgolf? I looked pretty fun. I mean, we were here hosting a watch party with some season ticket members, but they would flash scenes of you guys at Topgolf. It looked pretty epic out there.
Yeah, it was great. It was the first time I've done that instead of the 5-6 hour golf round. It was a different setup.
Have you been to Topgolf before?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought it was perfect. Good, more just interaction. With everyone. I think, and I know. Everyone's time schedule probably like that a little better.
Sure. Instead of being on the course all day, like.
Yeah, both are good. I was kind of asking. I kind of had some mixed reviews from some of the people there. They kind of liked the golf too, but
sure.
I thought it was a great event, and it was just a good kickoff to the weekend.
Who did you really get your kicks out of seeing out there at the Topgolf event? I mean, there's like over 35. Different alumni in the city this week, but like, was there anybody specific that you were really geeked to see out there?
Andre Waugh.
Yeah,
he was actually my roommate when I was in Pittsburgh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we haven't seen each other for a while, and as you know, I'm sure you guys know he's a character. Just sit back and be entertained.
Both of you guys have been pretty heavy. Out there in the social world. I've seen a lot of recent like podcasts with Andre on it, but I've also seen stuff with you as well, which I definitely wanted to bring up because I saw the Sandbagger Invitational video with you and Biz and Witt and Kobe Armstrong, and so for the Bolts Nation, I'm going to go out here right now and just put it out there. Thank you for whipping Biz's ass because what I wanted to know, honestly, was why didn't you finish the rear naked chokehold? Why didn't you put him to sleep?
Well,
I was hoping you would have.
Well, I was trying to, and then he kind of slipped and ended up having his arm. I don't even think he realized I could have snapped his arm. I don't even think he knew what was going on. But it was funny. So we were just trying to get in their heads a little bit, and obviously he started coming after me, and we're just trying to change the momentum there.
I couldn't tell I couldn't tell at first, right? Because it's chirping. I mean, that's what you guys do, right? Boys are chirping out in the course, but I couldn't tell at first. Is he chirping or is it getting like for real a little chippy here? Because then you got your eye was cut and there was some blood. And I was like, okay, is Malone pissed right now? Is Bugsy pissed? Because he's like literally, all right, I'm gonna shut this dude down. So did it start as just friendly and you finally just like the hormones were raging a little bit?
It was just I think like I said, we were down a few holes early, so I was like kicked his ball off the tee and like was bumping him and kind of like was inviting him to start it. So
nice.
I think it just kind of happened, and then I think my sunglasses ended up cutting me. So
okay,
I get
that's
up.
what ended up happening.
I have I think he was jersey jabbing me or whatever, but just get him to the ground, and jiu-jitsu is kind of a new hobby. So
when did you pick that up?
A few years ago in Minnesota. Originally, it was kind of like a father-son class you kind of go to. So started that, and I'm still doing jiu-jitsu. My boys have quit, but
you're still rolling though.
Yeah, it was great. I think for a workout and just really you can bring it to really any aspect of your life because you are getting smashed and humbled those first few weeks or months if you want, because you have no idea what to really do. So if you know jiu-jitsu and you don't, the person that even has some basic skills can keep someone down at least and protect themselves.
How long are you, I mean, is it like karate where there's white belt, black belt, like brown belt style? I mean, is that how it works in jiu-jitsu as well?
Yeah, white, blue, Purple, brown, black. Yeah.
Okay. And where are you at in the phase
I'm
right now?
I'm a higher white belt. I'm knocking on the door of a blue belt.
Do you get the little stripes or something?
You get little stripes as you go. Okay. So I'm over in near Stewart right now with Future School of Jiu-Jitsu, which is some amazing family, and it's similar to hockey. That the community is very tight. And you get all walks of life in there. You have doctors, nurses, to construction guy, whoever's in there.
Sure.
So I just have seen people just transform their lives there.
Really?
You see people I've seen women lose 115 pounds.
Wow.
And just by showing up, putting themselves in this uncomfortable position. To ultimately, you just keep showing up. You build a little confidence day by day, and then all of a sudden the whole family is competing in these tournaments. You're like, holy cow, it's just so great to see them just get this confidence and smile on their face, walk a little taller.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Is that something, are you trying to get to competition tournament level?
Yeah, I signed up for a few, and I end up getting injured right kind of beforehand, just a few obviously injuries from the hockey days. So I'm trying to figure out that pace and stuff. But yeah, it's definitely something I would do for fun, because at least you're not going to get punched in the face.
That's true. That's true.
In worst case scenario, you can just tap. That's the cool thing. You have that mutual respect for your partners and stuff. So you're training hard. So you can just tap if you feel uncomfortable, or you're getting, you're wherever.
Pass out or whatever.
You just tap, and that person stops.
Wow. Okay.
So even if you have previous injuries and your shoulder gets a little whatever, tap
it out.
Yeah, it's that's not big.
What
you're not there to hurt anybody.
What's the body feeling? Obviously, I'm sure jiu-jitsu at this point in a stage in your life, it's definitely helped you. But what you've been through injuries. You're a hockey player, right? So how's the body feeling after all the abuse you've put all over these years?
I just got to keep it moving.
Yeah.
So just try to keep moving a little bit each day, even if it's 10, 15 minutes doing something. Helps a lot.
That's what most of the guys have said. Even the older guys, older than you that we've had on, have said the same thing. As long as you keep yourself moving, you stay active, you got to get in your 30 minutes every day, no matter what it is, and that's the key to stay healthy.
Well, I think then obviously trying to eat real food.
That too. I
drink less now than when I played, so that probably helps too.
Are you a craft beer guy? Because obviously, this area has blown up. As far as craft beers,
I never really got into it. But I remember the nitro beers, because I just remember they don't fill you up because they're not carbonated. I'm like, that makes sense.
Taking it back, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Bugsy, a lot of our fan base are newer fans, right? So maybe not a part of necessarily the era that you were a member of the Tampa Bay Lightning. A lot of our fans love you, and you're beloved by our fan base. But there were some tidbits about your playing career and things that I found out that I thought were pretty unique that I wanted to kind of go over with you. So you've played, obviously, for the Penguins. You played for the Bolts. You played for the Rangers. You were the first Pittsburgh-born player and trained to play in the NHL for the Penguins, which is pretty remarkable, because that would be for example, somebody who was born and raised in Tampa actually getting drafted by the Lightning. Same kind of context right there?
Yeah. I think actually, I think the first kind of in the NHL from Pittsburgh, there wasn't anyone that was born and raised. R.J. Emberger was another guy that was close by that. I think he came in the league right the year after me.
Sure.
But we were all there in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was similar to how Tampa started. There was only really 3 rinks back, and then Mario came, and then they won the Cups in the early 90s, and then the hockey boom came, and now it's, hockey town.
It's crazy. Thinking about Pittsburgh, like you said, that's a massive hockey market, so to think you were the first, it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, looking back, you're like, what? Yeah, you're like, what? And I grew up, my dad played, pro hockey for 12 years, and then he was the head scout there in Pittsburgh for close to 20 years. So I was a rink rat, and Craig Patrick's office was next to my dad, so he had kids my age. Brian Trottier, he had a son that was, my age. We all kind of grew up together. And I think I just fell in love with hockey. I saw, I was in the locker room for the Penguins, those back in the days, and they're just pulling pranks on each other and having fun. I was like, this is awesome. This is the best. Yeah. So I think I just fell in love with it, and put in some hard work when I turned about 15, 16, kind of took it a little more serious at Minnesota hockey camps, which is a camp where like Chuck Grillo, Herb Brooks, J.P. Parisi kind of put together, and it was up in the boonies, up there in the woods.
St. Cloud State was
St. Cloud State, where I went to school. So I mean, but it was just about just that character, and ultimately I never knew where it would take me, but I knew my backup plan was a Las Vegas card dealer.
Okay, nice. Have to get into that one.
Yeah, but otherwise it was just hockey. And then even now you're trying to tell parents like, okay, maybe the NHL is obviously very hard to get into.
Sure, absolutely.
But you can still be able to travel the world and play in Europe if you love hockey and you're willing to do that and put the effort in. You just have fun and get paid to play a game. So
pretty remarkable.
Yeah,
that's what people. I get kids also ask me because how did you get to your job, and I tell them the same thing. It's in life, if you really love something or it's something you enjoy doing, that's what you really want to try to pursue as your career, because it then doesn't become work. Yes, you have to put in the work, so to speak, but if you love coming to the rink every day, you're hanging out with your boys, and like you said, playing pranks and going on the road, like that's a love. And so if you can do the thing that you love as a career, that's the path you want to go down.
Yeah, amen.
Amen. All right. So here's another cool thing that I found out. You played on a line with Sidney Crosby and Mark Recchi during the 06-07 season. You notched your first 4-point NHL game on December 13th, 06 against the Flyers. 2 days later, you scored your first NHL hat trick against the Islanders. You and your dad, Greg, became the only second father-son duo in NHL history to score hat tricks for the same team, along with Ken Hodge Sr. and Jr.
Huh.
Did you know that?
No, I thought it was.
Dimes on them here on the block party, boy. Yeah, you guys were the first father-son duo in history to score hat tricks for the same team.
Oh, were the Halls on there? Were the Halls ever play on the team?
It just says you were the second, the Hodge Senior and Junior. That's what I found. Did you play with number 12 to honor Dad? I mean, was that?
Yeah. That's where that came from.
Pretty amazing.
So yeah, and we wore the number through Kenny Schinkel, who was originally with the Penguins before my dad.
Okay.
So I learned to skate. Yeah, so I kind of learned to skate in Pittsburgh. There was like the Schinkel Malone hockey school. I remember like pushing a chair around when I was like 4 or whatever to get going.
Great memories.
But yeah, it was. So that's where the number kind of came from.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. You also achieved another career oddity against the Islanders back in 07 when you recorded a second career hat trick by scoring a goal in the first minute of all 3 periods.
Yeah, set the tone, Malone.
Chalk that one up. What's another cool fact I got here? Oh, this was another one I thought was interesting, kind of tying it back here to the Tampa Bay Lightning. So in 2008, you and Daryl Sador were named as alternate captains for the Penguin following the departure of Mark Recchi and Gary Roberts, who ended up here in Tampa, who I know from talking to some of the other guys were instrumental in Stammer's development and his training regime, and how he credits a lot to what got him to this point to Mark Recchi and Gary Roberts. It's weird to me because it's like a 6 degrees of separation thing going on.
Oh yeah,
right. That's kind of crazy. So obviously you've played with some legends in your day, but to be able to say you played on the line with Crosby and Recchi is pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that was like I said, I grew up in the rinks there in Pittsburgh, so even the year before that, Mario was still playing, so I got to play with Mario, which was like, hey, I was like, just I have a funny picture when the Penguins won the Cup in '91 on the back of the bus. It's Mario, myself, and my little brother. I'm 13 at the time. So it's just it's crazy how it all works out, and I actually remember using Recchi's sticks as a kid.
Wow.
So, and it's funny because we just did an alumni thing back in Pittsburgh, and he's back there, but it's just really crazy how it came about.
So did you, when you say you used his stick, I mean, was his, like, did he have a specific curve in his stick? Because a lot of the guys we've had on the show too have a very pointer, he was very specific with how they get that toe. So what was it about his stick that you thought?
Yeah, it was just small, shorter blade, just pretty straight. It was just a little curve on it,
and that was what works for you.
That worked for me, yeah. That, and I remember using Yager sticks actually when he first came in, and I remember breaking it in Pittsburgh. Like I said, there wasn't many rinks, so we had, for high school practice, we had a smaller ice sheet, and there was brick boards with a cage. There was no hitting, obviously,
Okay,
but it was
right.
But it was like,
Right.
But I remember going to a battle and breaking that Yager stick and like almost crying.
I was
You're
like, what do you do if they hand it back to him? I'm sorry,
no,
Mr. Yager. Like,
it was just crazy how it all came about. But yeah, I was very fortunate to be able to be like a rink rat and kind of grow up with those guys. And the craziest part is Yags is still playing. Even during my playing career, he's like, "Oh, little Bugsy, what are you doing here in the National League?" And then I retired, in 15, and he was still playing. It was
he's still playing.
No, I know, it's awesome.
Nobody will ever break. I mean, is he like in Czechoslovakia now or something? He's like in one of those leagues. He's still got the hair flow going. I mean, that's insane. That guy,
he owns the team, and then I think it's like guys get hurt or something. He hops and throws his pads on and play. And I think he just scored. Didn't he just score for setting the record for oldest player?
It's nobody's gonna ever touch that ever.
Yeah,
it's pretty remarkable.
Awesome.
You have to be a little bit crazy, I would think, to play the game of hockey. Or if you're not a little crazy, you have to like pain a little bit, right? Because in 2008 in the finals, you got checked by Cronwall. You broke your nose, right? You take a slap shot to the face, gets a gash on your cheek, damaging your nose again, but you return to finish the game. It reminded me of when Stammer took a puck right up here, and then goes to the locker room, comes back with the cage, and finishes the game. I don't know how you mentally get over pain like that to be able to finish a game. How do you even get in the mindset, right? I mean,
you're playing for the Stanley Cup.
That's, I mean, when they say a mic drop moment, that's really the mic drop moment. I mean, it really is, right?
Your bones will heal. Your cup chances are there for
easier said than done, right? I mean, I guess if it's your face, it's not something that is affecting this and affecting your ability to skate, right? So I guess you could play through it, but that has to hurt. I mean, do they at least give you a shot of Novocaine in your?
It was so numb. I was lucky because a few other buddies have taken pucks to the face where they get the teeth like Crosby, like he had his teeth down his throat. Unfortunately, like he gets hit in the face and
like a tooth like dislodged or like
like just down. It ended up down here, so he couldn't come back. How Gil shot a muffin and it was like it hit me flat on the face, so it wasn't as bad. Your nose, but I mean, I felt like my face was caved in, but I guess it wasn't that bad.
Dude.
But it's just part of it. I think, as I said, I love the game. I wear all my scars proudly. I didn't mind that stuff. So I do remember Stammer taking that. I think it was in Boston. And he gets up and he's coming off. You can probably go back to the clip. I stood up on the bench. I whack him in the shin pad fucking A, Cotton.
Yeah, dude.
Because he's like, you got that. He's got the heart. Even the time he went flying into the net, he tried to stand up. Remember?
After
and
then,
and then it broke, right. And then he couldn't, and then it went down. So I mean, he's
warriors.
But it's so amazing to see what he's done, and even Hetty, here with that passion and drive. Yeah. And Gary Roberts, as you mentioned, that's where the health conscious kicked in, learning about even the alkalinity in your water. You used to carry around like pH strips. If it wasn't over 7.5, your body can't really absorb it and all.
So you learned all that stuff from Gary.
Oh yeah. So because he went through the ringer and I think retired and had his neck fused and ended up coming back later on. So he was very into the health. So that's where I think it opened your eyes to really how you should take care of yourself. So
was your dad? Obviously your dad with the involvement, but wasn't he involved with the Lightning at some point as far as a talent?
Just as a pro scout, Not
How does
so
that
much.
even work? So the team basically brings you in to go to the minors and find guys that you feel are going to fit needs in the system.
I think teams just place guys in different areas or watch certain conferences, and then you kind of just get the feedback of you're either rating guys or going in to watch guys that might have the potential to fill whatever gaps you need.
So obviously Stanley Cup is always the ultimate goal, but you also went to the Olympics and you had a chance to play for the United States Olympic team back in 2010, got a silver medal. What was that experience like, man?
That was just mine. Yeah, mine. The whole thing was crazy. Never thought I'd get the opportunity to be able to do that. So to go there, especially in Vancouver, it was just electric. And
who Who else was on that team with you?
Yeah, Callie.
Yeah.
Callie. You have Kessel. You had, Kane. I was playing with Pavelski and Phil Kessel. Dude. And,
man.
Yeah, we had a good team. We had, I'm thinking Rafalski on the point there. Ryan Miller was outstanding. We had Quick and Tim Thomas as well. But we had just a good group of guys.
Yeah.
And even that gold medal game, we thought we were playing better that game than the time we beat Canada earlier.
Yeah.
And, Sid, I guess, whatever. But
exactly,
yeah.
Sid, whatever.
Yeah, man.
But, that was something I never could dream of, even looking back. You're like, wow, what a great experience. And I was recently in Fort Lauderdale at the NHL, alumni stuff for the All-Star game. I was talking to Luongo about it, and he's like, that was his greatest moment of his career. For he was on the Canada side, he was like, I felt so much pressure and obviously all this stuff, and I was like, it was just intense. The game was just so awesome to be a part of.
Very
and to
cool.
be right there. So I was just lucky to be a part of it, and came up a little short.
It's all right, man. Still have those memories, and you'll always have those. So, you got to play obviously here, with some greats on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Do you have any great PG or PG-13 related stories about Vinny, Marty, any of the guys that come to mind? I know there's got to be something. Man.
Oh yeah, the first thing that stood out to me right when we I got here from Pittsburgh. We're just playing pickup hockey. We're all just skating together before camp, and Marty, Vinny, and Vinny Prospel are playing together. And man, they were just slinging it around, sending it off the far wall where they're just sprinting into it, just buzzing around. I was like, oh man, this is awesome. Yeah. And I just remember they always kind of knew where each other on the ice, feeding each other kind of to those soft area passes where the speed was. It was just really fun to see them, think the game that way and see it up close.
So you've named some pretty remarkable individuals that you've played with over your career. If you could pick a dream line to play on, who would your line mates be? And that could be anyway. It doesn't have to be Lightning related. I mean, who would that be? Because again, you've played with some legends, man.
Jeez,
I know it's a tough one, man.
I know.
There's only two. This is it.
I have to take Mario for sure.
Okay,
that's fair enough. The big man center. He's just stand on the wing and tap him in. And it depends what you want on the other side. You got Sid or Stammer. I mean, that's tough.
Stammer. Who's got more cups?
I don't know.
Stammer's got 2.
Sid, how many does Sid have?
Sid has 3. So, we're on our way to the 3rd. That's where I was going with that one. So,
true.
You do have a foundation, right? You've got the Malone Family Foundation. I love the logo with the lion and the hockey sticks. Pretty awesome. But talk to us about the Malone Family Foundation, what that's all about and how you founded that and what you guys do.
Yeah, thanks. The logo is just kind of our family crest. So our last name Malone.
Yep.
So that was the first tattoo I got when I was 18. So my
dad. How many tats do you have now?
I don't count, but that was I'm like my dad can't get mad at me for getting our family crest. That was
that's
18th
genius.
Birthday.
I did the same thing, by the way, with because my last name's Wolf.
Oh, okay.
So I have a wolf on my arm, and it's ripping out of my arm. What are you gonna get mad at me? Because it's you named me that.
You're honoring.
It's your name, right?
Yeah. So I think that. Came up with the logo, and then it's really providing access to the game for individuals or communities that might need some help. And one of our pillars is helping give back to veterans and first responders. So we've already had one event in Pittsburgh for the Pittsburgh Warriors, which is a disabled veterans hockey group that is really combating that 22 a day. The suicide for the veterans, unfortunately. So it just gives them an outlet. Even if they never played hockey before, you get them some equipment, get them on the ice, get them in the locker room, right? Pull them in,
around.
Keep them around. So this, we got some events coming up this year. Mental Health Action Days. We're pairing up with MTV and Paramount to it's a worldwide initiative. Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. We're gonna do a hockey game in Pittsburgh, and then we're gonna do like a little training camp for them.
Okay. Really feel like
And then give all of us tools, right, for like just nutrition, body movement stuff, mindset stuff, so everyone can take home and everyone try to get a little better.
Yeah.
As we go. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I know Nick Paul. He has a Points by Paul program here, which again, the focus is on mental health awareness. And recently Slater Cuckoo, who was one of our guys here in Tampa, he just recently came out and expressed the struggles and things that he was going through with his eating disorders. So I think it's fantastic that you guys, even after the game or after being off the ice, you're still continuing to raise awareness to the communities, and mental health is one of those serious things that I think for a long time wasn't really discussed in hockey.
You're weak. Right?
If you brought
it up, I'm having whatever your issue may be, it's like, suck it up.
Right.
Yeah, that was just the way it was. Now, you just want to make sure everyone is comfortable. Obviously, as an athlete, you're gonna get pressure and all this stuff, but I think, the fans, you got a bunch of money, so you're fine.
Yeah. No,
I think we all get at the end of the day, we're all human beings.
Right.
Let's start there. I mean, I think at the end of the day, we all know you're not going to take any of the money with you. None of that means anything. So it's really how you handle yourself and how you treat others. So if, we can help. Like, we started the foundation. We obviously know hockey. Our family, my cousins playing in Bakersfield, kind of up and down with Edmonton. Brad Malone. My dad's brother was drafted by the Rangers in the first round. Hockey's been in our family for a long time.
Right.
Started with Wild Bill Malone up in the Miramichi.
Wow. Throwing it back.
Yeah. Okay. So, hockey is what we know. So we figured we start a foundation and then support our veterans to kick it off, and we'll just kind of take it from there.
That's awesome. Being such a huge military community here with McDill down the road, we really take to heart for that. That's pretty awesome.
Maybe we'll bring a ball hockey tournament.
Yeah, man.
Here.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Bring
Love
it down, man. And of course, our Lightning Development Foundation, they're amazing. So listen, we don't want to, I know there's a lot going on this weekend, but we're super excited that you're here as part of the 30th anniversary celebration, the induction for Phil, Marty, and Vinny. I don't think we could think of anybody else who shouldn't be here. You definitely should be here. So we're excited to have Bugsy here on the block party. Kobe, we hope you're back soon. Hopefully you got in town finally.
I thought he had the Bugsy flu since I fought him once.
Oh, no. We'll have to get into that one with Kobe next time. But Bugs, thank you, man. Appreciate having you here on the Bolts Block Party.